I feel about horror movies, it would have to be in the sense of stuff like Dahmer is very like scary, but yet again, the show is not gonna really make me like actually like fear or like feel as in the presence of like, oh, I'm very like scared. It's more as in like I'm very unsettled and disturbed with Dahmer, and with stuff like Terrifier, I feel the exact same way, just because the way he like obviously dismantles the human body, but that's because of its gore. So that's like, why wouldn't you feel unsettled? But with stuff like, I would say Scream, which it being more in the realistic category with like it could happen, I'm not gonna technically fear the Ghostface killer, but yet again, I am going to like be in the sense of like, who is it? And like, it just intrigues me that like there is gonna be a teenager killer or like someone in your friend group gonna like try to kill you. The fact that it was loosely based on a real event, which I wouldn't really say Scream was, but like I definitely know it was inspired by it, which was a cool fun fact. But yeah, stuff with like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that is like good. That could happen. And yet again, the movie it does like fiction like has its own little sort of fiction with like the visual representation of the family and like some of the decor in the house. But if you look at like the house it was really based on with the hidden bones and all the really disturbing things of the human body that was found in that house, it was like it really like Dahmer show mostly in that line because I wasn't able personally to like keep on pursuing the show. I stopped around I don't know what episode, but it was at some point after he like killed and like got this like guy and like made love and then I think just like murdered him. And it's a show where it's like, yes, it's intriguing to see this like corrupt, completely like evil like Dahmer, and like it's interesting to like know what was like really going on at the time. But as in glorifying the killer, I do think it is going to bring more light to who Dahmer was, and I feel like some of the younger fan base for the show is not going to really get the main idea it's trying to convey, as in like this really happened, there is evil out there, and Dahmer was a very like serious evil out there. And I feel as in some kids might like think like he got pretty good at it, or as in like they thought he was like attractive in some sort of way, and I feel as in that's like a completely like bad angle to look at the show. It should be very much looked at as like this really did happen, and it should have been tackled a little more different. One of the most enjoyable movie experiences I had with jump scares in the film actually like this film actually got me pretty like tensed up, and like I would use the word a little scared because it was like it is in a realistic setting, and it was based on a true story. I don't know if you've seen the movie called The Strangers, and the first one, like I'm talking about, The First Strangers was a movie about a group of 3 breaking into a house, and that's all it is. It's a very simple premise, but the fact that it could happen and the way they were doing it, which was very effective in the way it was doing jump scares. The first one I remember the most was you get to see the guy already in the house and he's walking around, and like we're mostly supposed to be focusing on the character in the scene, but the fact that you saw them in the background, it was already going to like shock you, as in like he's already in the house and the characters don't know about it, which is already going to get you like in the mindset we're not in a good situation. It's obviously like downhill from here. And with the like knocking of like the annoying just the constant knocking, the like irritation of it, and like these people won't go away from your house, and the characters are already in a setting that like they're not in the best like mental state. They're like pretty like sad and depressed, or as in like they're not in the best like mood. And the fact that on their at night they also have a break-in which leads to their unfortunate death is really like not unsettling, but it's really like getting in the nerves of like, oh my god, like I'm gonna lock my window tonight. And the jump scares in that movie, especially with my friend, they got to him. I remember one where it was clear that it would be a jump scare, but the sudden delay did affect like how it was like gonna play out, and when they did do the jump scare, it was very effective.